Being alpha doesn't mean yelling the loudest. It means keeping your cool when everything falls apart. But for some of these influencers, the louder they screamed, the more obvious it became that it was all just an act. And when that act collapsed live on stream, there was no coming back. These are the streamers who got brutally exposed for pretending to be the alpha. Let's start with Prime, a guy whose entire career took off thanks to Aiden Ross. On streams, he'd constantly shout, posture, and threaten people for clout. He went from being grateful to completely delusional, talking down to friends and fans like he was untouchable. And the final straw came during Neon's stream. There, Prime was exposed for allegedly trying to pay to sleep with a girl. When she confronted him on stream, he lost it, tried turning the blame back on her, only for the other streamers to shut him down instantly. He shouted, cursed, postured, but no one was buying it. The girl called him out for being fake, and instead of defending himself with dignity, he lashed out and stormed off like a child who couldn't handle being rejected. He fled the stream humiliated, a far cry from the tough guy he pretended to be. It was clear to everyone, Prime wasn't built for pressure, he was built for pity, and the moment people stopped giving it to him, he crumbled. But Prime wasn't the only one who crumbled.
I was just living with my granny and my pops.
I know, and your niece too. I know you had a pre-built, horrible PC from Best Buy, so I worked with Digital Storm, and I got you a f***ing monster 3090 AMD Intel i7, whatever, or i9.
Nigga, I don't even know what that means. What the f is this? It's a Tesla?
I don't give a f. I don't give a f. I don't care. On my homies, you gonna read a real nigga.
You're unbelievable. Don't talk to my friend like that. You're not gonna call her. You're
on my homies, do it. I'm ready to crash out.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Find out.
What are you gonna do?
Wes Watson, once seen as a reformed convict turned motivational speaker, lost his grip on reality too. Known for his explosive rants and intense prison stories, Wes built his brand around discipline and toughness. He preached mental clarity and self-mastery. His fans looked up to him as a no-nonsense role model who had overcome his demons. But his persona cracked wide open on the Fresh and Fit podcast. What started as a calm debate quickly spiraled out of control. Wes, unable to handle opposing views, started yelling, cursing, and eventually threatened to slap another guest. "You proud of who the seat you are?" he shouted, veins bulging, barely holding himself back. He mocked their appearance, their beliefs, even their religion. The moment his criminal past was mentioned, he lost it entirely, standing up screaming, ready to fight. This was the same man preaching self-control and growth. The audience saw through it. His words meant nothing when his actions told the real story. What made it worse was the way he completely disregarded any attempt to de-escalate. Every time someone tried to reason with him, he got louder. Every time someone challenged him, he doubled down. He wasn't proving his strength, he was proving his fragility. And when news broke just a month later that he was charged with assault at a gym, it confirmed what everyone suspected. The prison persona wasn't a performance, it was who he still was. His inability to evolve beyond that mindset exposed the sad truth. He hadn't changed at all, and pretending to be an alpha didn't make him strong, it made him dangerous.
Definition of success is across the board. If you're not ripped, if you're not rich, if you ain't rare, if you don't stand out, if you ain't across the board successful, it doesn't mean f***ing shit to me. If you got straight tits and you're in your Rolls Royce, you look like a fucking clown to me. I'm just laughing at your dumb fucking ass. You have a weakness. Change it, motherfucker. Bag of trash, dude. Pull your fucking shirt off. Tell me you're fucking proud of yourself.
Because I've been to fucking prison?
Jesus Christ,
because
look
I've been
at
to
you,
prison?
bro. You got 10-inch arms and tits. Men don't have tits.
No, they complaining and
that
just
is
make
a
an
product.
argument.
Dude, I'll smack your fat.
You're gonna attack me? All
right.
And then there's Jack Doherty, the self-proclaimed internet prankster who made a name for himself, bullying strangers and yelling, "What are you gonna do?" like a broken record. He built a whole brand around disrespect and deflection. But his real test came when he tried to flex on fellow streamers Prime and Jerka. On stream, Jack demanded they leave his house, but instead of obeying, they mocked him. "Get out of my house," Jack screamed. "Put me out then," Jerka calmly replied. Jack had no answer. His bluster vanished. The mask fell. He realized that dominance can't be faked, especially not when your own guests aren't scared of you. In that moment, he lost all control of the narrative. He was no longer the loud alpha running the show. He was a host, trapped in his own performance, completely outmatched. It was a brutal dose of reality, and the internet noticed. The clip went viral, not because Jack looked strong, but because he looked helpless. Worse than that, that, he looked irrelevant. He tried using power, but had none. He tried commanding respect, but got laughed at. When the crowd that once idolized him starts laughing instead, that's when the fall really begins.
You're not gonna keep touching me.
Circa! Circa! Get out of the fucking house! Get out of my house! No, get out of my fucking house! I'm not gonna attack you like that.
I'm telling you to go. Don't touch me. Hey, you gotta go. You in my house on everything, okay? Dog, you in my house, dog.
Get out! What the fuck is wrong with you? Cloud chaser? Get the fuck out!
But no one got a harder reality check than Bradley Martin, the massive bodybuilder who thought size automatically meant superiority. On podcast after podcast, Bradley boasted that he'd win in any street fight, even against trained fighters half his size. He interrupted guests, mocked lighter fighters, and laughed off technique like it was irrelevant. But things changed when he actually tried. In a wrestling match with Logan Paul, who weighed about 50 pounds less at the time, Bradley struggled. The video ends with him looking visibly shaken and breathless, trying to downplay it. His aura cracked, and when confronted by trained fighters his own size, he didn't look so confident anymore. The mystique was gone. And that wasn't all. The more he talked, the more he revealed just how insecure he really was. He threatened to beat people down over casual disagreements, trying to use intimidation instead of intellect. His go-to tactic was to escalate, because deep down, he knew he wasn't going to win a battle of logic. But when you're always the loudest one in the room, people eventually realize you're overcompensating for something. Turns out being big isn't the same as being skilled, and it definitely isn't the same as being respected.
Street fight?
Huh?
You think you beat me in a street fight?
You in a street fight?
Yeah.
You're a podcaster, brother.
I love it. But even in a street fight, I'd beat the
out of you in a street
no,
fight.
I would kill you, bro.
Yeah.
I would kill you.
God, I love it.
No, like
you think at your weight. What's your okay? I was trying to get your weight again.
So like around my walk around weight, I would kill you.
Bro, it's just mad respect. You just didn't back down.
No, I know.
Over here.
That's respect, right?
Now we shift from muscles to pure clout chasing with Matan. He went viral at the 2022 Game Awards for sneaking on stage and thanking his Reformed Orthodox rabbi Bill Clinton. The internet ate it up. Matan tried riding that wave by ambushing streamers, faking protests, and pulling stunts for attention. He wanted to be the new face of trolling, but it didn't last. When he tried to crash Kai Cenat's stream, he hit a wall. Kai instantly shut him down. "You're not with us," Kai said, clearly annoyed. Matan tried again, this time in disguise, but security didn't hesitate. He was dragged out while Kai didn't even flinch. The chat didn't care. The audience moved on. The message was clear. You're not relevant and no one's playing your game anymore. The act was tired and the alpha energy he thought he had, gone in seconds. The scariest part for clout chasers like him, being ignored. Then
real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
I've seen him before.
How you doing?
What the hell?
What's going on?
You're the most random person. You're not with us, but I've definitely seen you before.
How you doing today?
there's Neon, a loudmouth streamer who thinks making edgy jokes makes him tough. On Stream with Fusi, Neon tried testing boundaries by bringing up race and hurling backhanded insults. Fusi at first kept it calm. He gave Neon a warning. Words matter. Neon laughed it off, so Fusi gave him a hypothetical wake-up call so vivid it shut Neon down completely. If I took your head, smashed it through this glass, and dragged you underwater for 9 feet, would you know how to protect yourself? Neon had no answer. His face said it all. That fake confidence crumbled. For the first time, Neon wasn't behind a screen or keyboard. He was face to face with a man who had nothing to prove and everything to lose. It wasn't a threat, it was a lesson, and Neon learned the hard way. There's a difference between being bold and being stupid. Fusi didn't have to yell. He didn't need to raise his voice. He just used truth, and Neon folded. But while
you are Indian, but I'm not gonna call you out of your name and say
so
that.
Would you get mad?
It's like this. You
That's not bad.
don't call a Mexican
you know what your problem
Mexican
is?
like that.
You let words get to your head, bro.
No,
it's
because
fucking
words
words
matter.
No, they don't.
Yes, they
Actions
do.
matter. If I punch you in the face, then it's bad.
Cool. Right now, there's no security here for you, right? So if I were to right now, literally, with my right hand, palm out, with my this, I put it around my knuckles, smack the out of you, grab your head, get on this table, you through this glass window, take you underwater, you 9 feet under, wait till you need to breathe, put you up and say, hey, Judgment Day, down. Are you ready to protect yourself?
Neon got a verbal slap, Sneeko got destroyed on a global scale. It all started when Sneeko mocked Moist Kerwuntakel by showing an inappropriate image of his girlfriend. Moist responded by clowning Sneeko's gun knowledge. Sneeko, waving around pistols, kept yelling, "Watch my clips!" Moist calmly replied, "Those aren't clips, they're mags." It was a simple roast, but it exposed Sneeko as a poser. The internet turned on him. Memes, videos, parodies. His tough guy image collapsed. He disappeared for months. When he came back, he tried a rebrand, talking about Allah, quoting scripture, apologizing to Moist, but it all rang hollow. The same guy who puffed cigars and threatened people on stream was now preaching humility. No one was buying it. His downfall became a case study, not just in being exposed, but in how quickly a fake alpha can crumble when the internet sees through the act. Sneeko tried everything to bounce back, but every time he spoke, it felt forced. He wasn't being real. He was playing a character that had already been killed off, and once people stop taking you seriously, you never get that power back. Each of
clips. Watch my clips. Watch my clips. You want me to watch your clips? Watch my clips.
Have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips. You absolute fucking dummy. The same way that this is also a mag. They're all mags. Stop saying clips. You look fucking stupid here.
Really vulnerable. All this attack online has been difficult, but if Allah wills good for someone, he afflicts him with trials. And I have to be better now. And I apologize to Moist Critical for showing a picture on stream of you and your girlfriend.
These so-called alphas had one thing in common. They cracked under pressure. Real strength isn't about dominance, yelling, or fake bravado. It's about control. And when these streamers were tested, they were exposed in front of millions. Comment down below, which fake alpha got exposed the worst? And who do you think is next?